My wife told me I am replaceable. I, 30M, have been married to my wife, 29F, for 2 years, and we have known each other for 6. A few weeks ago, we had an argument, and during our disagreement, she told me that I am replaceable. After our argument, she went out with her friends. I have been dealing with some health problems for a while, and the argument stressed me out, leaving me nervous and unwell. I was alone in the house and decided to call the paramedics because I felt like something was really wrong. To sum up, I suffered a heart attack. In the hospital, they tried to reach my wife, but she didn't respond, likely still upset from our argument. She called later after coming home when she found out that I'm not there. After learning of my condition, she came to see me and stayed with me the entire time, constantly crying and holding my hands. After being sent home, she did everything so I could recover fast. However, despite her efforts, I couldn't stop thinking about how she told me that I'm replaceable. I constantly think about it. I want to confront her about it, but I don't think I'm ready. I'm trying to understand why context matters. In what way or situation is it acceptable to call your partner replaceable? The audacity to even say something like that is beyond me. I will also answer some things here. 1. We have no children. 2. I have genetic health problems. External factors also contributed to my problems. 3. I have a higher salary than her, so I mostly pay the bills or buy things for our home. 4. I mostly cook and clean. She does it too, but it's mostly me. It's not 50-50, more like 60-40. 5. She isn't actively trying to kill me. I hope so, at least. And 6. I don't know if she is having an affair. Let's also address the elephant in the room. We had arguments about our house, some issues with it, and after that, we also discussed our priorities, careers, and intimacy. At one point, discussion was replaced by her venting and saying things not even related to the original discussion. I had no issues with her ranting about things until she told me that I'm replaceable. That was the end of the conversation. I no longer wanted to talk. She finds my silence terrifying, but she didn't stay in the house for long after the argument. I don't know when she came home. I woke up in the hospital and she was there. She kept crying and holding my hands. She didn't speak much. She couldn't. On a side note, some people in this comment section have some issues themselves. Like, some of the comments are just wild and horrifying. Update: I've decided to separate for a month. We will go to a counselor and speak maybe 1 to 2 times a week. If she cares about me, she will accept it and do everything she can to improve our relationship and marriage. If she starts playing around, going out on dates, or if I suspect her of cheating, I will end it. There won't be any forgiveness or second chances. I will make an update post sometime in the future. So many of you reached out and offered support and advice. I think the least I can do is provide you with the update. Thank you all very much. Story number 2. I heard my husband talking about me to his family, and I can't stop crying. I, 20F, have been married to my husband, 21M, for 2.5 years. We had an arranged marriage, which is totally normal in our families. We started talking for 2 months to get to know each other, and I really found him an amazing guy. Love his sisters and brothers, and respect his parents, and is good to his religion. He is everything I can ask for. We got married after 3 months of knowing each other. I actually got pregnant right away. It was not planned, but we were both happy I got to know him more, and I really love him. He is so caring. When he found out I was pregnant, he took a leave from his job for 3 years, since it's the company that his dad owns. He would always make me a bath, cook, clean, and always sits me down just to talk about how I feel and what I want or need. I have also decided to take a break from work since I got pregnant. And now, my baby girl is 7 months old and is the most beautiful thing ever. We both adore her. Everyone in our family does so too. Our parents and siblings. She has 2 aunts and 3 uncles from my side and has 5 aunts and 2 uncles from her dad that are crazy for her. Today, we were invited to my in-laws and we were out at the yard while parents were inside. My husband went to get some food and drinks. Meanwhile, my baby was playing with her aunts and uncles, and it was beautiful to see them with her. I noticed my husband hadn't returned, so I went to check in on him. I went and I heard him talking with our parents, and they asked how our relationship is, and my husband broke down crying and told them that he can't describe how happy he is. He went on talking about how every morning he wakes up and sees me and our baby, and he can't help but cry, and he said he can't imagine life without us. And then he started thanking them for bringing us together. I couldn't help but cry. He's an amazing guy. Even motherhood has been easy for me since he always helps me with the baby at night. I really love him, and I didn't want him to know that I heard him talking to our parents, but I really wanted to share somewhere about how happy I am with him in my life. Sorry if this was long, but thanks for reading. Edit. Hi, just wanted to say thanks for all the love and support, and thanks for that advice, and I will be planning a surprise date night for us tomorrow. I will also be telling him how much he means to me and tell him I love him, since I have not really told him yet. Thank you everyone, and I wanted to apologize for scaring you guys now that I'm reading the post. The title really is not matching. Edit 2. Hi everyone, again, thanks for the love and kindness. What? I just wanted to tell you all that I told him I loved him. I got his sisters to help me keep him out of the house with my baby and decorated the house and all that and made his favorite foods and had to make him brownies and cookies, which are his favorite. I then wrote what I love about him on balloons and actually said that I loved him out loud. I know it might be weird that I just said it now, but I was always a shy person, and we had a great time, and I really think I just fell for him all over again. And, believe it or not, he actually came home with flowers, and I just now realized I really need to step out and show him how much he means to me. I will start to show him how much I love him anyway. Thank you guys, this will be my last update. Story number 3. My wife poured a bottle of water on me, and I think I'm done. This happened a few weeks ago. My wife and I were arguing about how to cut onions. Freaking onions. I had stupidly thought I could do it, that I could chop up onions and add them to the chili as she asked. She came by and got pissed, telling me that I had cut them too coarse, that they were supposed to be much smaller, and that the chili was ruined because I'd put them in the pot. I said, okay, let me just get them out, they're just on top, and I was just trying to do what you asked. I can cut them smaller. And I start to pull them out with a spoon. Then she says, no, that's okay, don't do it, she'll just do it. She then pushes me out of the way and takes the knife out of my hand. I let go. Now let me tell you, my self-esteem is crap. I start to explain about how I did what she asked, and if she had wanted them to be put into the chili at the end, she could have just asked for that, instead of me putting them into the chili while it was still on the stove. I desperately wish I could do something, anything right. I retreat to the other room, and I'm pretty freaking sad. I'm 28 years old, and I can't make canned chili apparently. I sit down on the bed, trying to stay out of my wife's way so she can fix my mistakes. She brings in dinner, and I'm ready to drop the problem. I eat, and she eats half of her food, then brings it back up. I apologize multiple times, but she doesn't seem satisfied. I try to explain myself then, that I feel like maybe she should have just communicated a little better if she'd wanted the onions as garnish instead of just in the chili. She tells me I'm not listening, that I'm cutting her off. I don't understand, I feel like we're taking turns. I desperately try to stay calm, keep my voice quiet, as calmly as possible. I say that I would appreciate it if she could be more specific about what she wants. Then, she snaps and pours the entire glass bottle of water all over me. As she does, I can hear myself saying, please don't, as water runs down my face and back. It's making a huge mess. She drops the bottle on the floor and walks out. Water is everywhere. I start crying really, really hard, and my first instinct is to go clean the water up, wipe it up, get the blanket dry. I tried so hard to be good. I tried so hard to keep my calm, and it got me nowhere. I got my keys, and then I left, still crying. Then, my wife starts crying as I walk out, telling me I don't care about our relationship, that I am abandoning her. I just tell her as calmly as I can that I need to be alone for a little bit. I go out for an hour and sit by the library. I'm cold and wet, and she calls me several times. I don't really want to answer. I haven't been okay since this. I know it seems stupid, but this event has pulled up a lot of bad things she did to me in the past when she was going through a lot of other things in her life. She apologized for some. Others she doesn't even remember. Verbal, emotional, physical. I don't think I can stay married. It's like everything keeps boiling up. I don't know why this is. Maybe I'm overreacting? I don't know. Edit. Hello everyone, thank you all for the support, thoughts, and advice. It's really nice and upsetting simultaneously to hear from so many of you that what happened was not in fact okay. I was really scared to post this, and I've been reading every single comment here. Thank you all so much. I want to add that I am also a woman too. My wife and I are both women, since many of the comments and responses are assuming I'm male. Thank you again for your thoughts, encouragement, and for the hope. I feel very alone right now, but this has helped me. Story number 4. I am so happy that my ex-wife is miserable. 3 years ago, I, 48M, found out my wife, 46F, was having an affair. She met a guy at work and came home one day telling me she was in love with him, no longer loved me, and wanted a divorce. This was a guy that she had only known for 3 months at the time. She and I had been together since we were in our 20s. We have 3 kids, 28M, 26M, and 23F. Well, I tried to fight for my marriage and didn't want a divorce, but she simply would not stop seeing the guy. After one weekend where she disappeared from Friday afternoon to Sunday night, I ended up throwing her out of the house. She immediately moved in with this guy. The only excuse she ever gave me was, "I never wanted to hurt you, but there's just something about this guy, and I deserve to be happy." That was it. That was the depth of her reasoning for throwing everything we built together away. We ended up finalizing our divorce in early 2022. Although I had very hard feelings towards her, I faked it enough to get pretty favorable divorce terms from her. It seemed she was so eager to be with her dream man that she didn't have time for a long divorce. So in the end, I got to keep my pension and the house, which I had bought from my grandmother. I did have to give her half of my 401k, however. The effect on our kids was pretty devastating. All 3 of them took it very hard. My oldest son told her that if she chose this man, he'd never have a relationship with her again. As of right now, neither of our sons have a relationship with their mother. Our daughter does talk to her from time to time, but their relationship is very strained to say the least. My daughter is a very kind person, and she tries, but she usually ends her conversations with her mother even more upset than when they started. About 4 months after the divorce, my ex contacted me out of the blue. She told me she had made a terrible mistake and asked if she could come home. Her dream man turned out to be an alcoholic who she says is verbally abusive and wasted all of her money. I used this opportunity to tell her exactly what I thought of her as a person, a wife, and a mother. I told her this was her life now and to deal with it. I told her she no longer had a home at this house and to never contact me again. Then a few things happened over the last year that have driven her to start trying to contact me again. First off, I met someone. My sister introduced me to a friend of hers who is also divorced, and she and I hit it off. We have been seeing each other again since last summer, and we've agreed that neither of us wants to get married again. We are together though. Once my ex heard about this, she once again tried to contact me, but I ignored her. My son also got married and didn't invite his mother. She again contacted me to try to get me to intervene on her behalf. I told her I would talk to him, but I never did. Secretly, I feel like she deserves all the pain she's feeling when it comes to our kids. She destroyed our family without so much as an afterthought. Too bad, so sad. Now, she recently told our daughter that she finally broke it off with the dream man because she couldn't take his drinking and total lack of responsibility. He wasted her half of the 401k that I had to give her. He also totaled her car driving drunk. This is from a man in his 40s. Again, she knew this guy for 3 months and torpedoed our whole family for him. On the face of it, I act like I feel sorry for her, but inside, I really delight in the fact that she's so unhappy. Call me evil or whatever, I don't care. She brought this on herself, and it serves her right. I actually had to sit there one Saturday night while she got ready for a date with this guy and laughed on the phone with her friend about how awkward our living situation was. I lived in hell for over a year because of her. Wait until she finds out our son and his wife are going to have a baby later this year. Maybe if she had been able to keep her legs closed, she'd get to meet her grandchild. Enjoy your crappy 1-bedroom apartment in your broke-down used car. Me and my new partner will think of you when we're on vacation in Hawaii this summer. Hawaii was the trip my ex and I always planned to take once our daughter finished college. Maybe I'll send her pictures. Story number 5. I am never going on a trip with my girlfriend ever again. I, 22M, have a goal of going to all 50 states, and last week I drove through Arizona and New Mexico. My girlfriend, 23F, has never been out of California and asked to tag along, and I said sure. We have been together for almost a full year, and I've been wondering what she's like on vacation and trips. I am admittedly not someone who will go on luxurious vacations. I will, however, make sure I'm in a safe place, but I don't have a problem with sleeping in airports, bus stops, train stations, and libraries. This trip was nothing like that, though. I found 2 days in hotels with 4 stars, and one of them had complimentary breakfast. My girlfriend tagged along and complained for about 95% of the trip. She complained that the car was too small, the weather was too hot, the weather is too cold. We're staying at a Days Inn. Are there better places around? These bed sheets feel weird and the AC is too cold. The shower has a curtain? Ew! I don't want to go to this restaurant. That restaurant looks weird. Let's not eat there. This is the Grand Canyon? I thought it would be prettier. Albuquerque's ugly. Why did you even want to go here? I don't want to go on a hike. I'll stay in the car. Any suggestion I gave was turned down. When I asked if she wanted to do something or go somewhere, I barely received a response. She freaked out at a waitress because they made her order wrong and she caused a scene. We went to the Grand Canyon and she didn't clean up her garbage when we had lunch and said it's the park ranger's job. By the time we got home, I was completely exhausted. I dropped her off and drove back to my house without music just so I could enjoy a period of silence. This trip opened my eyes into what she can be like when she isn't 15 minutes away from our city. It was her first time out of state, but she barely displayed any signs of common decency towards people, and I ended up apologizing for her behavior multiple times. I should not have to apologize for my girlfriend's actions because she received bacon instead of sausage. I am exhausted. Story number 6. I, 22F, mistakenly accused my boyfriend, 22M, of cheating on me. He says he wants to break up. Throwaway account, long post, please bear with me. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend for 2 years. Never had any real problems until now. He moved to a new job about 4 months ago and is being mentored into the job by a senior female employee. She calls him after work hours too, to make sure that the work is on schedule and to inform him of various responsibilities of the next day. I have been okay with all of this until one day she called him around bedtime and asked him if he could pick her up in the morning because of some problems with her car. I found this unnecessary and told him not to do it. He said it was okay for one day and did pick her up in the morning. I argued with him in the evening and told him that I find her calling him outside of work to be uncomfortable. He rejected that and said she only says things about work, and as she mentors him, he cannot just ask her to not call anymore. This has been going on for some time, but the breaking point came yesterday. One of my friends called me yesterday noon and told me that she saw my boyfriend eating lunch in a restaurant with another woman. She described the woman, and I was sure that it was the mentor. In my mind, I was almost sure that it was nothing. But still, when he came home, I exploded and screamed at him and accused him of cheating on me with her. I shouted over him for a good 30 minutes. When I calmed down, he looked livid and showed me a photo on his phone. It was a selfie of him and several of his colleagues having lunch, and it was just that he and the mentor took a smaller single table by the side of the extended one. I apologized a lot, but he said that he doesn't feel comfortable that I am getting insecure over him working with a woman. Today morning, he told me that he needed some space and went to his friend's house. He is not taking my calls anymore, and I want to go to his friend's house to talk to him. How can I convince him that I know that I went overboard with my reaction? Update. Sorry for not replying to the comments. I was distraught and the opinions were understandably against me. I understand from reading many of them that I might have bipolar disorder, still to be diagnosed. I am planning to go to therapy and counseling. I have sent him a message saying this and that he can take as much time as he wants, and that I would completely understand if he wants to break up. As for people asking why I screamed at him when I didn't think there was a problem, I really don't know. At that moment, I couldn't control myself, and all the irritation I felt from her spending time with him must have come out. And if something happens, or if he decides to talk to me, I will make an update.